I decided to change it up a little bit today. So what are you gonna do about it? Just click off the video. I'm gonna tell the story about what is my most excruciating pain, because it's a question that everyone's asked at least maybe like 3 times in their life. It's probably the worst sentence start I could possibly think of, but I've been thinking about it for a little while now. I think I'm ready to let this one loose. So just enjoy my stickman fight gameplay in the background because it was quite fun. Um, Basically, this is way back. I was around 13 when this story happened, and we it was when me and all the boys we used to go in the changing rooms in school, and there'd always be some stupid little thing going on. It'd be like throw someone at the ceiling, see if they could break it down. That happened quite a couple times. But in this instance, we we meet with me, who's sat there, having a good time, having a sip of my drink, and this boy, we're just gonna call him, we're gonna call him Theodore for the story. I can't think of a better name than that. He decided to nick my drink, and I wasn't very happy about this. So I'm like, oh, I'll give it back, and he pushes me, and this was before I was the monk of our time that you know now. And I decided I'm not standing for this. And I start gripping him. And by gripping, I mean like grabbing his shoulders. He starts grabbing mine, and we're just going back and forth, like, you know. And for, I give it my all. I give it my all, and it's going all right. Not my best work because he is double my size, Theodore. But so what? Like you're working with what you got, and I'm sat there. And I feel a bit of resistance, and then he moves his hands to around like the start of my neck, and I'm like, oh well, maybe he's gonna try and drop me. I'll get ready for that. He proceeds to grab me with all his force and slam his knee into my testicles. Zooey mama. That one hurt. I felt like a sack of shit with his knee. It was kind of like it's kind of like balancing a glass of water on your knee and then dropping it. That I just instantly went with his knee. I fall to the floor and I am screaming in agony. It's not something I'm proud of. I have never screamed like that before, and I will never scream like that again. But I was yelling in pain. I could feel a teardrop come out my eye, like Cloudy and the Chance of Meatballs. But I was sat there screaming, and fair play, the boys were looking at me, and one of the boys went, I'm going to go get a teacher. And then everyone else instantly said no, because everyone else was mucking around in there. No one else wanted to get caught because it's a boys' changing rooms. They've all got vapes, bongs, whatever you can think of covered in those toilets. They had so they're like, no, just stay in here, Chess. You'll get better soon. And pat me on the back. And they went, and we had a supply teacher for PE, so it was no big deal. I could sit in the toilets and sit there with inflamed pain all I wanted. So that is exactly what I did. I was able to finally, after maybe 15-20 minutes, pick my body off of the floor, and I stopped screaming like a baby, and I sat down on the toilet, and I was literally just sat there, just kind of like a monk trying to find inner peace. I was kneeling my head forward, deep breaths, like I was watching a meditation video. It was the whole package deal, and that went on for around 40 minutes, and then I was like, okay, now I have the strength to go to PE. I go in the room for maybe 2 minutes, and I can deal with it. Walking made it worse, so much worse, and it was because the pain had gotten even stronger because my testicles were then flapping on my legs. It just was really, it was really excruciating pain no matter how you saw it or what I did. But I decided to settle to going back and damning myself to the toilet, and so I'm sat on this toilet, and that happens till the end of the lesson. Theodore comes in, he's patting me on the back, he's going, oh, I'm so sorry, and I don't have any anger left in me. I think that was the last time I've ever been angry because I definitely put the money where my mouth was. Whew. Yep, I was like, no hard feelings, and nothing like that ever happened again. But I wanted to. the story doesn't end there. Oh no no, this pain lasted around 4 days, around 4 days to a week of just excruciating pain. It got to the point on day two where I was like, I don't think this is normal, and I went to my father and I was like, Dad, I really need to go to the doctor. I've it kind of hurts down below, and he's like, oh, what was it? And I'm obviously not gonna tell him. I'm not a bitch, and I'm joking. Do tell someone if that happens. But I was like, oh, I tripped. I'm obviously like I had like two nuclei back when I was like 13. So I was like, oh, I tripped, and he's like, yeah, bullshit. And but we ended up going to the hospital, and I had to drop my boxers, as someone would say, to the old man, and he caressed my balls, and I wasn't proud of it, and he told me it was completely fine and the pain would go away, but wow, it was. And not only did I feel excruciating pain and got embarrassed in the changing rooms, I then had to go to the doctor, which is like an 80-year-old man, and get embarrassed there as well. It's kind of like they were all taking turns, like one uppercut, then another one, then another one. It's like I'm a fucking Spider-Man villain who's just met his maker. Like holy, it, but if I give you any advice, it would be this: protect your crown jewels. Those do not need to go anywhere. Okay, those ones do not need a knee. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. I know this video is a lot different from what I usually do, but I kind of want to start doing this a bit because reviews just don't last that long because I don't consume enough media. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. See ya.